Okay, I assume you must have seen the videos. If you haven't, then you should see them because it would be necessary for you to see those offline videos too. Fine. So with consideration that earlier we talked about different algorithms. Okay, one was related to first finding out whether every symbol, every variable gives terminal. Second algorithm was every symbol appears in sentential form. Okay. Third algorithm, null productions, and I am saying 3.5. We did what? We removed null productions, but again, to preserve the language, what we did was we introduced S1 variable. Fine. To keep that part. So maybe like I have added video for this. I will in a short
Sir,
video. Ah,
your screen is
yes.
not visible.
Not visible. Oh,
No,
sorry.
sir.
Yes, yes. Now,
Yes, sir. Now
now
it's
yeah.
visible.
Okay, okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
thank you. And sorry. Yeah. So algorithms where we first talked about every variable gives terminal, then every symbol appears in sentential form. This was second algorithm. Then we removed null production. These were the three algorithms which we saw. I introduced one more algorithm, which we will recall. Like we already have worked out with these two. This also we worked out how to find the respective productions. Now this 3.5 would be what? Suppose you have grammar like this. For example, S gives AB, okay, and A gives epsilon and B gives epsilon and A. Now, if we remove null productions, we will get S gives A, B, AB, A gives B gives B. But in this case, this when we put both of them to be epsilon, we will get S gives epsilon, which would be part of LG. But when we use this converted grammar, at that time epsilon would not be part of it. So what we do generally in this sort algorithm, where we introduce a new start variable S1, and we will add only two productions. S1 gives S and S1 gives epsilon, and done. So like after this 3.5, what we do is as S gives epsilon is not available here, but to preserve the language, because language contains this epsilon. Now we equivalent grammar without null production. We introduce this one to only protect the language. Okay, this was 3.5. Now I am introducing you fourth algorithm today, which would be like talking about a specific kind of say productions. What we do is we define. Let us first define this. Let us first define the thing. Like 1 minute. A production A gives B is called as unit production or chain rule. Fine. Where we got it? If you recall, before a while we constructed this S gives A, S gives B. So we are talking about these two, S gives A and S gives B. Correct? Separately, like only one variable is occurring towards right side. So there might be a bigger chain rather in such a case. So that's why it is a chain rule. So you will identify that in programming sense like this. For example, you are writing a code, you are saying integer A equal to 10, then integer B, integer C, and you are writing like this, C equal to B, okay, and somewhere you have written B equal to A. And suppose within this, like after like considering the declaration of these variables over here, then some lines in between, and then you have these two statements written. Now let us assume that within this A thing, like within this part, what are the part of code that we are talking about? So this suppose this A doesn't get manipulated. So ultimately, when we say B equal to A and when we say C equal to B, both of them will be having 10 value, correct? Fine. Suppose with assumption that it never gets manipulated here and these two statements here. So it would be better always to write A equal to 10, B equal to 10 and C equal to 10. Why to say like go to A, then go to B and so on. So because when we mention this way, ultimately we are talking about fetching the values from the address and we don't want that thing to happen. So that's why we are talking about now this fourth algorithm, which I'm going to talk about, removing such kind of unit on null production. So what is to be done? Suppose now here A comma B belongs to Vn. Both of them are variables. And in that context only we are going to say that this is a unit production. And definitely we are talking about a context-free grammar only. Fine. Okay, now let us try to see like if G is given grammar and if G contains this unit productions, correct, then we can find equivalent grammar G1 such that it will not have any production. We want to remove such kind of unit production. So how can we achieve this? For example, if I take this case, S gives A and A gives B. Better would be if I write S gives B, then my problem gets resolved. So why to have one more step to get that? Because we can see here only one variable is there. Now, if there are two variables, we don't know. And even if there are multiple values like this, so we are talking about only such kind of productions and only such kind of productions. S gives A, S gives B, or S gives A gives B and B gives B. So we're talking about this terminal kind of aspects. Okay, so what to do in such a case? Like what we're saying, grammar G to get grammar G contains unit productions which are like this. Correct. We can find equivalent grammar G1 such that it will not have any unit production. It will not means this G1 should not have this. So we will do what? Now every variable. For every variable in G, we will construct what you can call it as W set. Okay. So construction of, so let us talk about this now. Construction of set of variables derived or we cannot say derived, so derivable, which may derivable from any A belonging to Vn. Fine. So this is to be applied for every variable. So for example, let us talk about W0 of A. So we will construct it for every variable that can be seen in Vn. So let us do this. So for W0 of A, we will add A by default. Now W1 of A would be W0 of A union. We will include every variable B. We will include every variable B belonging to Vn such that there exists a function C gives B. Now is, that's what we said. There exists a production C gives B is in P, and this C belongs to W of A. So when I said, when I'm talking about this, so I will replace this by this 0. I will replace this 1. I will replace this like this. So I will say Wi plus 1 of A equal to Wi of A union. I will write whole this thing except I will write C belongs to previous W. Right, so you continue constructing like this, and then one point of time you will get such a set for W for every variable that you are having. So while we solve the example, you will understand that. Okay, so side by side I will take the example so that you can understand what exactly I wanted to see there. So I will take an example over here. So let me take an example. Suppose grammar G contains S gives AB. Okay. Then let us take A gives A, B gives C, and also let us add a terminal here so that okay. Then C gives D, D gives okay. Let us add one more chain rule E, and E gives A. Now, can we see that this grammar, suppose this is a grammar given to us, production set given to us, where variables are S, A, B, D, E, okay, terminals are A, B, and this is a production set. So, is there any chain rule involved? Yes. Where is the chain rule? So, let us try to mark it. The chain rule is B gives C, C gives D, D gives A. Correct. So, we want to remove this thing. So, for that purpose, what we need to do is now we have to construct W for each one of them. So for a W of S, so if I start with W of S, is there any unit production for W S? Yes, please. Is there any unit production involved? Yes. Are you there? Are you able to see this? Is there any like unit production is what? Variable gives a variable. Do we see for S any production where S is giving only one variable in this given grammar?
No.
No. So
No,
this
sir.
will
No.
we will stop here only for yes. We will not write any. We will not compute W like this. Fine. Now W of A. Do we see any unit production for A? No. So we will stop here. Do we see any unit production for E? We will stop here because there is no unit production for these three. E gives a variable is not available. So now let us talk about W0 of B. So first thing would be B, correct? Now W1 of B would be what? This previous W union. Now we have to see, we are going to include variable B, some variable B where there is a production C gives B and this C left hand side belongs to W. So like previous thing is what? Previous W is B. So is there any production for variable B in this case such that it is giving us only a variable? Yes. So you add C here. Correct. Am I correct? Or have I made a mistake? See, what we are saying, if we compute W0, every time the same variable would be added. Next time you are going to see for any variable which was included by you, like what we are saying, this C belongs to previous W. Don't confuse with this B and C here. Okay. See importantly here. Suppose W0 of A is A, Wi of A would be what? You will take previous W union. You will add a variable B such that there is a production C gives B. Correct. And this C belongs to previous W. Now previous W contains what for us? For B, it is B. So is there any production for B which is giving you a variable? Yes. Which is that? B gives C. That's why
C.
we will add C over here. Correct. Now let us construct W of B. W2 of B. We have now B comma C union. Now there is no unit production for B remaining, which we haven't covered. So is there any unit production for C? Yes. What is that? C gives D. That's why we will include D over here. Correct. W of B. B, C, D. Union. Is there unit production available for D?
E.
E.
Yes. So we will include E. Very good. So Now we know that there is no further production, so we'll stop this construction. WB would be what? B, C, D, and E. Is that fine? Okay. Now you may see here we work with WA, WS, WA, WE, and WB. Now which is remaining? C, D, and E. C, D is remaining, correct? So let us go with now W0 of C. What is W0 of C? Initially it would be same. 1 of C. Is there a unit production with starting with C? Yes. Which is that? C gives D. That's why
D.
So this would be D, correct? So W2 of C would be what? CD union.
Union E.
Now E,
E.
correct. Very good. W3 of C would be nothing more, correct? Union 5 would be there. So we will stop here and we will say WC would be what? C, D, and E. Fine. So this was our WC. Now which is remaining? W of D. W0 of D would be what? D. W1 of D would be what? D union E. Why? Because D gives E. Correct? So this is WD would be only DE. There is nothing more to be added. So now we got W's for each of them by using this rule. Understood? Any question? If there is any, you can ask me. Any question, please? No? Can I continue?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes,
Now
sir.
you have done this. You already constructed this. Correct? So you already got construction of set of variables derivable from every variable A. Now we have to move to next step. Now we have to construct A productions for every variable A. For every variable A for which you constructed this, we are going to construct construction of A production. When I say A production, I mean by productions for A. Correct? In new GU, new grammar G1. Fine. How to do this? Now, what we are going to do, first there would be two steps involved. So first step would be what? All non-unit productions of A will be added in G1. Correct? All the non-unit productions of a variable A would be added in G1. Now what about unit productions? So whenever there is something called A gives alpha, we will add A gives alpha whenever there is a production B gives alpha such that, see, A gives alpha would be done. We have to add A gives alpha whenever B gives alpha is in your original set or original grammar. This B gives alpha should be there in G. Okay. Now what this alpha is? This A, B belongs to what? Vn, correct? And this B belongs to W of A. ये जो B है, if this B gives alpha, and what is alpha? Alpha does not belong to Vn. It does not belong to Vn. There should not be a variable because all unit productions are non-unit productions are added. So we are talking about only unit production. So either there would be some terminals, combinations of them, or there can be only one variable. Correct? So we are talking about them. So alpha does not belong to Vn, but B belongs to previous W of A. If it is the case, then we are going to add this. So what exactly that means? How exactly we are going to add? Let us take this example. So we will construct now. We understood this construction. Now we have to construct P dash, or you can say P1, new production set. How many productions are there which are non-unit here from the given grammar? So we'll start writing. S gives AB, A gives A, B gives B, E gives A. These all are non-unit productions, correct? Am I correct? Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now we'll apply this. We will add A gives alpha in new production set whenever there is production B gives alpha, such that alpha does not belong to Vn and B should be belonging to Wa. A first. Okay. W of A, we already added. W of S, they are only two, so we already added the production. B, for B, this we added. But now B gives C. Do we know what C gives? We don't know. But because C gives D, we don't know what D gives. When we talk about D gives E, do we have any production for E giving non-variable? Yes, there is E gives A. As E gives A is there, so here this B for me is E. E gives A, alpha is A. When E gives A is there, I will add D gives A because D gives E is a unit production that is available, and this E belongs to W of D. You can check it. This E belongs to W of D, correct? That's why as E gives A is there, we will add D gives A. Am I correct? Understood? Yes, please.
Can you repeat once?
Yeah, I will repeat. So what I'm saying, A gives alpha would be added whenever there is a production B gives alpha in grammar, such that AB belongs to Vn, B belongs to W of A. So that means what? When B belongs to W of A, that means there is a chain rule available for A to B. Correct? Am I correct? On what basis
Yes.
B would be part of
Yes.
W? Because we work with this, correct? We have this kind of production available. That's why. Now, this alpha should not contain a variable. This alpha should be only terminal or terminals. So in this case, when we do talk about D gives C, do we know what C gives? We don't know. Do we know what D gives? We don't know. But we exactly know what E gives. So as E gives A is in P and this E belongs to W of D, correct? That's why we will write as E gives A and E belongs to W of D. That's why we will write D gives A. Similarly, as D gives A is C gives D, D belongs to W of C, and as D gives A, so we will add C gives A. As C belongs to W of B, C belongs to W of B. What C gives now us? So that's why we will write B gives A. And we will not write these three productions. Instead, we will write these three new productions. Understood? Check it one more time. Why we did this? Can somebody repeat? Can somebody repeat? Chikle, can you repeat? I never heard you talking. Can you repeat what I said? On what basis we added this? Yes, please. Akash, can you repeat what I said? Have you understood what I said?
Sir, I understand partially.
So let me repeat one more time. So have you understood this construction of W?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next part would be what? We have to implement productions, or we have to add productions for every variable which is available. So first step would be what? All non-unit productions of A for every variable A will be added in new grammar G1, the equivalent. Now we will add A gives alpha whenever there is B gives alpha in G. This will not be there in given grammar G. This would be given in given grammar G. B gives alpha, such that this alpha is not a variable. Moreover, this B belongs to W of A. So if B belongs to W of A, what we will do? Whatever B is giving us terminal or terminals, those all terminals would be replaced here with A gives alpha, because A gives B would be there, and as A gives B, that's why this B belongs to W of A. Am I correct? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what we did here, we started with this. When we talk about B gives C, do we know what C gives? We don't know, because C gives D. D gives E. And that's as E belongs to W of B. You can see E belongs to W of B. That's why whatever E gives, what is E giving us? E is giving us A. That's why as this E belongs to W of B, we will write B gives A. Am I right? I am following this rule. We will add A gives alpha whenever there is B gives alpha in P, and this B belongs to W of A. Now, is E belongs to W of B? Is E belongs to W of B? Yes. What is E giving you? A. As E is giving you A, that's why B also will give A. That's what we said. So this is added that way. Similarly, this C, for example, if I go with this C, if I talk about W of C contains D and E, and D is not giving us terminal, it is giving a variable, and we said that alpha should not be variable. So we'll talk about E now. Is E giving you terminal? Yes. Is E belonging to W of C? Is E belonging to W of C? Yes. Whatever E is giving as a terminal, non-variable production, they would be assigned to C. That's why we wrote this C of A. C gives A. Similarly, when we do talk about W of D contains E, and E gives A. That's why D gives A, and that's why we added this. Now, okay?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. So this is how your fourth algorithm would be. Fine. Have a look on it and let me know if you find difficulty in understanding. Is that okay? So I will add maybe photos of this for your reference in our group. Akash, somebody left the group. I don't know why.
Sir, that is not in our member actually.
Course. I think he or she was from mathematics course, no? BSc. Oh, sorry, MSc mathematics.
Yes, sir. He's not from IMC third sem. Because all the numbers of IMC third sem are saved in my mobile, and this is not saved.
Okay. So I have added this example, both the examples for you. Check it. Sorry, theorem as well as examples. I will add other photos too here. So can we move further? This was today's date. Today's date is. Okay, so I'm going to. I added only the photo. I have added the photo there. So let it get uploaded. Okay, can we continue? Now see how many algorithms we saw. Now we know all these things. So unit production. So we have this one, then null production, then S1 gives S and epsilon. These were added because we want to protect the language, and then unit production. Fine. Now let us talk about simplification with what we started. We will use these algorithms together. Fine. How to do this? Now remember, whenever I am referring to algorithm number 1, it gives me terminal. Algorithm number 2, sentential formal algorithm. Algorithm number 3 would be null production. Algorithm number 3.5 would be that one, like introducing this S1 use S and S1 use epsilon. Only these two to be added, and with this set. And last algorithm is unit production, that which we saw before a while. Now, let us say that we have been given a grammar which may contain all of these together. What is to be done? So we are saying if G is a CFG, we can construct an equivalent grammar G dash, which is reduced. Can you recall what we talked about reduced? And has no null productions or unit productions. Now, if you recall correctly, we did what? We worked with both. So when we talked about this, if I have to construct a reduced grammar for a given grammar G, then I do apply this step first, and this is the second step. So ultimately, what we are doing is, now let us see how the process would be. Now remember these 4 algorithms, the names that are given by us there. So I will keep this for your information. Okay. So now to do this, suppose you have been given grammar G. So first of all, you will apply algorithm number 3 and 3.5 in order. 3 means what? Null production. 3.5 means introducing S1 if required. This 3.5 is if required, because if epsilon is not part of LG, if S is not nullable, then you don't apply this 3.5. You have to apply this 3.5 only when S is nullable. Fine. Now when I said 3, I mean by null production, and 3.5 means if epsilon if S is your nullable variable, that means epsilon is part of your LG, and then you add that. Correct. 3 and 3.5 in order so as to get G1. Okay. Then second, apply. Let me write this on G so that you will know. G is given to you. You apply 3. First, 3 means remove null productions. If epsilon belongs to language or S is nullable, then you introduce these 2 productions. S1 gives S and S1 gives epsilon, and rest of the things would be like this. Then you get this G1. Now apply algorithm 4. 4 means what? Unit production on G1. Whatever the grammar resulted from this step 1, you are going to apply algorithm 4 on G1, get G2. Fine. Third step, apply algorithm 1 on G2 to get G3. Means what? Every variable gives terminals. Correct? Every variable gives. And fourth one, apply algorithm 2 on G3 to get final grammar G4. Now this G4 will not have either of them, which will be reduced as well as no null productions or unit productions. Right? So we will take one example to achieve this goal, so that you will understand what exactly I want you to know. Okay, so let me see some problem for you. Have you understood this? What we mean by this? So I will write here. So 3 means what? remove null productions. This 3.5 would be what? If S is nullable, remove that by introducing that. This algorithm 4 means what? Unit production. This algorithm 1 means what? Variable gives terminal. And this algorithm 2 means what? Sentential form. Correct. So this is how you are going to apply the algorithms. Fine. So let us take one example where all possible cases might be there. Fine. So how will you solve this? So I am going to apply these algorithms in this order only. So I will add this photo for your reference so that you can refer this side by side. Okay, so example. Let G contains A, B, or D. A gives A epsilon, B gives B epsilon, D gives CA, C gives epsilon, E gives A, F gives D. Can you see these all productions? I will repeat. S gives AB, S gives DE, A gives A epsilon, B gives B epsilon, D gives CA, C gives epsilon, and we will introduce A even, and E gives A, F gives D. Fine. So let us work out this. What is to be done first? See the image. What is to be done first? Remove null production. Correct? So now if you carefully see, do you see S is a nullable variable? Is S a nullable? See, S gives AB, A gives epsilon, A gives epsilon, B gives epsilon. So if I put epsilon, epsilon belongs to LG. Correct? So we have to introduce 3.5 as well. So let us apply first nullable wala variable thing. So we will start with in W we have to construct set of nullable variables. W would be what? You are going to take all those variables which are giving you epsilon. Which of them are giving you epsilon directly? Can somebody point out? Can somebody point out which are giving us epsilon directly?
A, B, C.
A, B, C.
Correct. So initially W1 would be containing ABC. What would be W2? A, C, union. Which variable contains a production such that combination of this is appearing towards right side? Do we see any such case? Yes. Which is that? S gives AB. Correct. Combination of these only. S gives AB. DE we cannot take. D is not part of here. C is right side, but there is A, so we cannot say epsilon only because we want only combination of this. We want something like this. So we don't have keep it. So this 3 would be S A B C union now 5. Correct? Fine. So now nullable variables is done. So W would be S A B C, which is this. Fine. Now let us move further. Now when we do this, we have to remove now these null productions. So let us introduce. So all non-null productions would be added. So let us say this is, we are given grammar G, we will construct G1. Okay. So G1, that means P1 would be containing all non productions. So I will take A gives A, B gives B, C gives A, E gives A, F gives D, correct? Anything remaining? S gives DE, because both of them are not null variables. So this is done. So these are the ones which are not containing any null variable toward right side. Now, which are remaining? Which are remaining? Can somebody tell me? Which are remaining?
D
See,
gives
remaining are S gives
A,
AB,
B gives CA.
then D gives CA is remaining, because C is okay. Only these two are remaining, correct? So we have to write for them. So we'll write S gives AB as it is. Then if I put A to be epsilon, I will write S gives B. If I put B to be epsilon, I get S gives A. Correct. Now for D, we have D gives CA. If I put C epsilon, then I will get D gives A. Correct? Am I right?
yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, in this case, we don't have anything for language such that this, because this epsilon is part of LG, we can say epsilon is part of LG, correct? In the language, because S is a nullable variable. So that's why we'll manipulate this. We will say P1 dash. We will include two productions such that this S1 never occurs to right side of any production, because S may appear, we don't have anything here. So we will write S1 gives S comma epsilon, and we will write all these productions here. A gives A, B gives B, C gives A, E gives A, F gives D, S gives DE, S gives AB, S gives B, S gives A, D gives CA, and D gives A. So this is our production set now. Fine. Now algorithm 3 is applied, nullable. Algorithm 3.5 is also applied. Am I right? Why? Because S was nullable. S was nullable. That's why we added these two. Fine. Now, if your S is not nullable, if S never occurs, then no need to apply this. Am I right? Note this down somewhere. We will require this information. If S is not nullable, then we will never add these two productions. Now, in this grammar, S1 would be start variable. S is not going to be start variable. Now, S1 would be start variable, because we will be starting with S1. Fine. Now, let us continue with removal of unit productions. So, algorithm next step rather, removal of unit productions, and this is the grammar that we are going to take. Fine. So we have to, we know that we have to construct W's for each of them. So we will see there is no unit production for A. So we'll write W of A is A. Correct? Is there any unit production for B? No. So W of B would be B. Is there any unit production for C? No. W of C would be C. Is there unit production for E? No. So W of E would be E. How about D? Do we have unit production for D? Again, no. W of E ho gaya. F, is there any unit production for F? No. So F will be as it is. So what is remaining now? S1 and S. Correct? S1 and S. We haven't constructed that. So we will start with W of S. So we will say W0 of S. W0 of S is what? Initially S. Correct. Now W1 of S is what? S union. Which are the variables occurring towards right side as a chain rule for S? They are S gives A and S gives B. So we'll add A comma B over here. Fine. Both of them would be added because S gives B is a production, S gives A is a production. That's why. Is there any unit production remaining? No. So this would be our WS. Any problem with this? You can ask if any. How we worked out this? We said W0 of S would be S because these all are not containing any unit production. That's why we haven't constructed W0 for them. We know that there is no unit production involved. For the S, we know that there are only 3 productions, 1, 2, and 3 productions of unit kind. So W1 of S is union AB. And then W of S would be what? S, A, B, and done. Because A and B are part of here. Like S gives B and S gives A. That's why we wrote this. Fine. So this is done. Now W0 of S1. W0 of S1 is what? S1 initially. W1 of S1 is what? S1 union S, correct? W2 of S1 is what? S1. Now how many whatever is there in W of S, you can directly add that because S gives A and S gives B would be there, correct? So you can say whatever is appearing in W of S would be added here. So we will have AB. Got it? Added this. Can somebody repeat? See, if I go with W0 of S1, same variable would be added. To compute next one, we will try to see is there any unit production included for S1. So that's why we added this S here. Fine. Nextly, we said S and S1 would be part of it now. Now we tried to find whether unit production we got S gives B and S gives A. So subsequently you can say if you get S, try to see whether what is WS, provided you have computed it earlier. You include all of them over here. So we got A, B, S, S1. So this is our W of S1. Correct? And now what would be your production set? Let us try to construct production set for this. So I will keep moving it. So I will concentrate on this grammar, by the way. So we have to construct, see P1 dash is there, we will construct P2, production set P2. So I will simply move it. So let us concentrate on this grammar. So all non-unit productions, like for example, I will mark it with green. Non-unit productions are this one, 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 and this one, correct? Then this one, all these are to be added as it is. And so let me add them there. So I will write S1 gives epsilon, then A gives A, B gives B, C gives A, then next one is E gives A, F gives D, S gives DE, S gives AB, D gives CA, and last one D gives A. Correct. Now unit productions remaining are S gives B, S gives A, and S1 gives S. So let us first talk about W of S1. So S1 gives A. What A gives? What A gives here? A gives A. That's why S gives A would be what? S gives A. Why we did that? A gives A and we have S gives A, and as A belongs to W of S, A belongs to W of S. That's why whatever A gives, which doesn't contain any variable, would be added as it is. So we got S gives A. Similarly, S gives B is there. What B gives? B gives small b. So it would be added here. S gives small b. Fine. Now we have made modifications for this S gives B and S gives A. Now remaining is S1 gives S. Now how many products for S which are not contained variable? whatever the production that we got here, how many S productions are? S gives D, S gives AB, S gives A, and S gives B. How many of them are there which doesn't contain any variable? Can somebody tell me? Which doesn't contain any variable. Why I'm saying so? We want this. Alpha should not be variable. This was a chain rule, na? So if I go with that, we know that S gives A and S gives B is a production, correct?
Yes.
That's why we will add what? Can somebody tell me? If I put only A and B there, what will happen? What will happen? It will terminate. But now I have to preserve the language. So this would be for only removal of unit production. So this one case would be what? For variables where if I apply that 3.5 algorithm for variables where S is occurring towards right side and S is nullable. In this case, S is not a nullable variable. Sorry, S was a nullable variable, but S was not occurring towards right side. Correct. So what we will do is we will add S1 gives A and S1 gives B. Now problem is if I terminate this thing here only, my language would be over here. S1 gives AB and S1 gives epsilon. But my language contains much more things in the given grammar. So now we are making some small modification in this 3.5. What is the algorithm 3.5 we talked about? What is that 3.5? Can somebody tell me what was that 3.5? We said this. We will introduce S1 gives S and S1 gives epsilon. Now we are making modifications such that this is to be done only when this S occurs to right side of either of the production. Not here. Huh? We will add this if this S occurs to right side of either of the production. So if I go with this, do I see S occurring towards right side of the production? No. Correct. That is the reason why we say, what are the statement that we say? If we have to preserve that epsilon, then this is nullable and occurring to right hand side of either of the production. This start variable. When we will introduce S1, when we will introduce this 3.5, if and only if S is nullable and S is occurring to right side of the production. S is nullable and S is occurring to right side of production. Otherwise, S gives epsilon would be kept as it is. Though it is a null production, because this is not occurring, my language would be over because my start symbol would be S1. How about the remaining strings that would be generated? Fine. So that is the reason why this S1 gives S and S1 gives epsilon is not to be added due to this reason. And I would try to tell you what mistakes students may do in this case. Shall I repeat this one more time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, listen carefully. Now, when we see this production set, is S occurring towards right side of either of the production? S gives AB, S gives D, A gives A, B gives B, D gives CA, C gives epsilon A, E gives A, F gives D. Is S occurring to right side?
No.
No, sir.
Correct. So if S is not occurring to right side, for either of the production, whenever you get this, even if as to preserve the language, this is one algorithm which we talked about, where if S is occurring to right side, you will this S1 gives S and S1 gives epsilon. And if S is not occurring to right side and S is nullable, then you are not going to add S1. You will keep S gives epsilon as a part of the language directly. So now I'm making some small modification for your reference. This is to be done. So I'm saying this would not work in this case. This will not work in this case. Why? Because in given grammar, G in given G is nullable, but not occurring to right side of any production. That's why we have not to apply this strategy. Now, if you apply this strategy, your language will remain here, because as per the theorem, what we said was we will introduce A gives alpha for every case where B gives alpha is there and B belongs to W of A. And we said alpha does not belong to Vn. And if I don't apply S productions here, problem is what? I am going to get wrong interpretation. My language would be terminating here. It will give only A and B. But in this case, if I see, it may give D, E as well. And D results to A and A. Correct? If I keep replacing this D by C, so C on, so or A, so either I will replace A, C by A or epsilon. So if I take A, then AA would be there in place of D and E gives A. So 3 A's would be there, which cannot be generated from here. Fine. So this S1 gives epsilon or S1 gives S to be added only when this works. Otherwise, in your grammar, you are going to keep S gives epsilon. And because of this, we will remove this from here. We will remove this from here and we will keep, S gives epsilon as a part of language. Why we removed this? Why we removed this? Can somebody repeat now what I said before a while? I wrote statement here. Because in given grammar G, S is nullable, which we can see here. Correct. And moreover, it is not occurring to right side of any production. I can write here any production. And that is the reason you have not to introduce this thing. You will keep S gives epsilon. This is to be done only when this S is occurring to right side of the production, either of the production. Right side, I mean to say this side. For production A gives suppose alpha. I'm the alpha part. If S is occurring in alpha, then only this is to be introduced. Right? And this is a mistake mostly I have seen when students do solve the problems. Understood now why we did this? We are not going to take this production, but we will keep this production as S is not occurring to right side. Otherwise, your language will vanish. And I will take other example as well where S is occurring towards the right side. So we'll take we'll make some small modification in this grammar in a second problem. So now my production set would be this. P2 would be modified. P2 would be this. A gives A, B gives B, C gives A, E gives A, F gives D, S gives DE, S gives AB, D gives CA, D gives A, S gives A, S gives B, and S gives epsilon to preserve this. Now, this is to be done only when epsilon is part of LG and S is occurring to either of the production. Fine. So this is P2. Now, third thing, are there unit productions involved? Are there unit productions involved? So those all unit productions were removed. Correct. Now we have to work with next algorithm, and the next algorithm says what? This. We have to apply an algorithm which verifies whether every variable gives you terminal. So can you see all variables are giving you terminal here? Yes, but we have to apply the algorithm. So we will start constructing the method. So our thing was now see with all variables giving a terminal or not. Fine. So how we construct? We will construct W1 such that there is a production variable gives terminal. Which variables are giving you terminal directly? C. A gives A, B gives B, C gives A, E gives A, F gives D, D gives A, S gives A. All of them are there. So all of them are added here. S, A, B, C, D, E, F. Correct? Because all of them are giving you terminal. And then as they are all are giving you terminal, you are not going to remove anything. So your gram production set will remain as it is. So P2 would be, P3 would be P2. So which is same. Why? Because every variable is giving you the terminal. Is it giving you terminal? Yes. See any variable missing here? No. All of them are giving you terminal. How you construct W1? We take variables here such that every variable gives you a terminal like this. A gives A is there, B gives B is there, C gives A is there, E gives A is there, F gives D is there, D gives A is there, S gives A is there, S gives B is there. That's why all of them are added. And then even if you go with W2, it would be this one union 5 because no variable remaining. And all variables would be added there. So this would be same. So I will write it. A gives A, B gives B, A, E gives A, F gives D, S gives DE, S gives AB, D gives CA, D gives A, S gives A, S gives B, and S gives epsilon. Fine. Now next algorithm would be what? The fourth algorithm. And fourth algorithm talks about what? We will remove this symbol not appearing in a sentential form. So let us work out it. Fine. Now if you carefully see, you can point out it here. So see, like S gives AB, so A and B are occurring in right side. Is D occurring? Yes gives D, D is occurring. Now you may say that this F is not occurring to right side of either of the production. So this F gives D would be removed here. So what we will do is we will start with W construction of. Now this algorithm is for sentential form. So we start W1 by taking start variable here. We start with that. So W2 would be whatever is occurring to right side of S would be added there. What is there with right side of S? We have S gives AB, so that's why AB is added. We have S gives A, S gives B, S gives A, S gives B, S gives epsilon. Correct? All of them are added. So W3 is what? So even if you don't take this, not a problem. So because we have only one occurrence of that there. Union. Now try to talk about B and E. Sorry, I missed here one thing. I will correct it. I forgot this DE as well. So W2 is S union. S gives AB is there. Correct this. So that's why A and B is added. S gives D is there. So that's why this D and E is added. Fine. And S gives A and S gives B is there. So this is what would be there. So I get W3 equal to S, A, B, D, E, A, B union. Now for A, what is occurring to right side? A. So we already added this. For B, what is added? B is added. For E, we already added A. For D, already A is added. Now for D, there is CA. So C is not added. So that's why C would be part of this. Correct. So we get W4. Now more remaining. So S, A, B, C, D, E, A, B. Union. Now there is nothing remaining. Only remaining is what? F gives D. So this F is not occurring. So this would be 5. Fine. So this is W. So everything which is occurring here, all production would be fetched. So now your P4 would be intersection of this and this for the variable set. Variable set is this one. Now SABD. So you only take those productions. So S gives AB or S gives DE or S gives A, S gives B, S gives epsilon. I'm writing them in single shot. A gives, B gives B, C gives A, E gives A, D gives A, and D gives CA, and done. So you got this. So see, your productions were these many. From these productions you got this one. So this would be your final answer. Right? This would be your final answer. So this problem might be there for 10 marks because there are probably 4 algorithms. So if I go with 2.5 each for each algorithm, so this problem may occur for 10 marks there. Got this? So you will work out another example where we will take like this S1 case. Fine. So let me repeat one more time. I will take another problem for you people so that you can see how exactly done. So let me write a grammar. S gives AB, SD, D gives A, epsilon, B gives A, epsilon, C gives BA or B, E gives A gives AC or epsilon or A. Can you see whether S is nullable for you? Is S a nullable? See, S gives AB and S gives B epsilon, A epsilon. So if I put epsilon for both, S is nullable and S is occurring to right side. So that 3.5 which we removed earlier will be part of it. So let us stop first removal of null production. So we get what would be nullable variables. So first algorithm is take nullable variable. So how exactly we are going to get nullable variable? Can somebody tell me what would we set up nullable variables? Yes.
SABD.
Correct. Can I directly write? Why SABD? A gives epsilon, B gives epsilon, D gives epsilon. So that's why S also is giving epsilon. So we'll say nullable variable is SABD. Now as S is occurring toward right side, what the productions would be? For this we have to write. So S gives AB, S gives A, S gives B, S gives SD. Okay, S is nullable. Is D nullable? Yes. So both of them would be nullable. So like I can write S gives S or S gives D. So this doesn't work, correct? Even if you have this doesn't have any importance, but it is occurring to right side. That's why we want it. Even if you remove this, S is occurring to right side. So we removed now this null variables from that. So we got S gives A, S gives B, S gives SD, S gives S, S gives D. So now D gives A, B gives A. Now as B is nullable, so BA, B, and B gives, so that's why C gives A, E gives A AC. So A is nullable, so C, AC, and C is not nullable. That's why you don't talk about this. Correct. So this is what we got. Now that 3.5 is to be applied. So here we will introduce S1 gives S and epsilon, and we'll write S gives AB, S gives A, S gives B, S gives SD, S gives D. We will not write this because it doesn't make any sense, because S gives S, you keep repeating, you can replace S by either of them. So S gives D. Even if you skip it, that's okay. B gives A, C gives BA, B or A. Why I put A here for this C? Because this B is nullable. So if I put epsilon, then I can get this. So that's why I put both of them. Now E gives A gives C, A. Correct. As C, A is nullable, C is not nullable. C is not part of this, so we cannot write as A gives A ultimately. So that's what your S1 part would be. Understood this? When to include S1? Here we have removed this because S is nullable, but it is not occurring to right side. So we have to write. In this case, we introduce this. So S1 gives epsilon would be part of this. Right? And then you can remove unit production. What would be unit productions then? So I will write S gives AB. Whatever is there for capital A, I am going to write it for terminal. So what it would be? S gives, let me write it one more time. S gives AB. S gives A. So I will write S gives small a. Correct? S gives A. S gives B. B gives what? Small b. S gives SD. S gives D. D gives A. That's why S gives A is already added. So no need to write this. So you can skip it. So D gives A. B gives A. C gives BA. B or A. E gives A. A gives C. And C gives what? B and A. So that's what it is to be written. So as A gives C is there and C is giving A and B. So we'll write A gives A gives B. Correct? For every such product. Already A is added and then we will write S gives AC. And what is remaining now? S1 gives epsilon. S1 gives. Now there is something called as capital S, correct? S is occurring to and whatever the productions for SR would be added as it is. So whatever S is giving, we will write S gives S1 gives AB, S1 gives A, S1 gives B, S1 gives SD. This is because S is nullable and occurring to right side. If it is not occurring to right side, then we will not write this. Only A gives epsilon will be there. So whatever the productions for S are added here, they would be given to S1. Fine? Understood? And then you can move working with this. So I leave this part to you to apply next algorithm for getting grammar equivalent such that every variable is giving you terminal. And later, because we already removed this unit production, so every variable will be giving us terminal, and then later every symbol is appearing to sentential form. So I will add this photograph for you people on the WhatsApp, right? So that you can work out. I will add this example as well. Okay. Now, even if it is not understood, I will try to add offline videos for this case. Fine. So we are going to have test today. I will add timing over there.